Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're uncovering the fascinating topic that many of you have asked about. We're discussing the 9 signs a man has been with a lot of women. Now, before we jump in, it's important to note that these signs aren't definitive. Everyone's different, and these observations are just general tendencies. So, without further ado, let's explore these signs. One of the first signs that a man may have been with a lot of women is his confident and smooth communication style. Such men often possess a natural ease when talking to women, displaying charisma and charm. This confidence often stems from experience. Men who have been with many women tend to have refined their conversational skills. They know how to make a woman feel comfortable and valued, often effortlessly steering conversations with wit and humor. Moreover, their confidence isn't just limited to what they say but also how they say it. They maintain eye contact, use open body language, and can easily read and respond to social cues. This kind of social agility can make them appear very appealing. This doesn't mean that all confident men have been with many women, but a certain level of ease in interactions, especially with the opposite sex, often points to experience. It's about the subtle nuances in how they handle different conversational topics and situations. However, it's crucial to distinguish between genuine confidence and arrogance. Genuine confidence comes from a place of self-assurance and respect for others, while arrogance is often a cover for insecurity. Pay attention to whether his confidence is paired with respect and consideration. Remember, being smooth and confident isn't inherently negative. It can simply indicate that he's comfortable in social settings. What's important is how he uses these skills, whether he respects boundaries and communicates with sincerity. Another sign that a man may have been with a lot of women is his tendency to avoid deep emotional conversations. While not everyone is comfortable with vulnerability, those with a lot of experience might steer clear of getting too close emotionally. This avoidance can stem from a variety of reasons. For some, it may be a defense mechanism to prevent getting too attached or hurt. If they've been in many short-term relationships, they might have learned to keep things light and avoid deeper emotional involvement. Often, this behavior can manifest as changing the subject when conversations get serious, using humor to deflect, or simply being non-committal in discussions about feelings and the future. They may also prefer keeping things casual rather than defining the relationship. It's important to note that not every man who avoids deep conversations has been with many women. Some people are naturally more private or take longer to open up. However, a consistent pattern of avoidance, especially when paired with other signs, can be telling. Watch for signs of emotional unavailability. If he's consistently reluctant to share personal experiences or listen to yours, it could indicate a lack of willingness to form a deeper connection. This might be a sign that he's used to keeping relationships on the surface level. While avoiding deep conversations can be frustrating, it's crucial to approach the situation with understanding. Encouraging open communication and creating a safe space for sharing can sometimes help break down these barriers. However, it's also important to recognize your own needs for emotional intimacy. Next on our list is the presence of a high number of female friends and exes. Men who have been with many women often have a wide social circle that includes a lot of female friends, some of whom might be past romantic interests. These men tend to maintain connections with their exes or women they've dated casually. This could be because they value the friendships they've formed or because they prefer to keep their options open. They might also be very sociable and comfortable in mixed gender groups. However, this can sometimes create complexities in new relationships. For example, a new partner might feel insecure or uncomfortable with the presence of so many female friends, especially if there's a lack of transparency about past relationships. It's essential to differentiate between genuinely platonic friendships and situations where these connections might be a way of keeping the door open for future romantic possibilities. The key is how these friendships are managed and whether they're respectful of current relationships. If he frequently mentions past relationships or compares you to his exes, it could indicate that he hasn't fully moved on or has a habit of keeping emotional distance by referencing past partners. This might be a sign that he's used to juggling multiple connections. While a large social circle isn't inherently negative, it's crucial to observe how he manages these relationships. Transparency and respect are vital. If he's open about his friendships and prioritizes your comfort, it shows maturity and respect for your feelings. Another potential sign is a man's deep knowledge about women's interests and desires. Men who have been with many women often develop a nuanced understanding of what women like, both in terms of preferences and emotional needs. This knowledge can manifest in surprising ways. He might know a lot about fashion trends, popular beauty products, or even how to navigate conversations about emotions and relationships. This awareness often comes from experience and paying attention to past partners. Such men may also be adept at reading body language and picking up on subtle cues, making them seem very attuned to a woman's needs and feelings. This can make them very engaging and considerate partners. However, it's essential to discern whether this knowledge is used positively or manipulatively. While being attentive and considerate is a good thing, using this understanding to manipulate or charm without genuine care can be problematic. Be cautious if he seems to be saying exactly what he thinks you want to hear or if his behavior feels too rehearsed. This could indicate a tendency to use his knowledge to please multiple women without forming genuine connections. Knowledge and sensitivity to women's needs are not inherently negative. In fact, they can make a man a great partner. The key is ensuring that his actions are genuine and come from a place of sincerity rather than an attempt to impress or manipulate. Next, frequent flirting and charismatic demeanor. A man with a charismatic demeanor and a habit of frequent flirting might also indicate experience with many women. Such men often exude a natural charm that makes them attractive and engaging to those around them. Flirting is often second nature to these men, whether they're single or in a relationship. They enjoy the playful exchange and the thrill of making connections. This charm can be very appealing, making them seem approachable and fun. However, this behavior can sometimes blur boundaries, especially if it's not clear whether the flirting is harmless or if there's an intention behind it. It can create confusion about the nature of their interactions and whether they're truly committed to one person. It's also important to consider how they handle flirting when they're in a relationship. Some people are naturally flirtatious, but if they're respectful and mindful of their partner's feelings, it may not be a problem. However, if the flirting feels excessive or disrespectful, it could be a red flag. If he seems to flirt with everyone, even in your presence, it might indicate a lack of respect for boundaries. This behavior can signal a lack of seriousness about monogamous commitment or an inability to control impulses. While a charismatic and flirtatious demeanor can be attractive, it's essential to consider the context and the man's intentions. If he respects your relationship and uses his charm to make you feel special, it can be a positive trait. However, if it feels like he's constantly seeking attention from others, it might be worth discussing your boundaries and expectations. Another telltale sign is the frequency and variety of stories he shares about past relationships and experiences. Men who have been with many women often have a lot of stories to tell, reflecting diverse experiences and encounters. These stories might range from lighthearted anecdotes to more serious reflections on past relationships. He might share these stories casually, often as part of everyday conversation, without realizing that he's revealing a lot about his past. While sharing stories isn't inherently negative, it's the frequency and content of these stories that can provide clues. If he often talks about different women and situations, it might indicate a history of numerous relationships or encounters. It's also important to note the tone and attitude he has when discussing these past relationships. Does he speak respectfully about his exes, or does he frequently criticize them? His perspective can provide insights into his character and how he views relationships. Be cautious if he frequently brings up exes in comparison to you or if he seems to have a pattern of short-lived relationships. This could indicate a lack of emotional maturity or an inability to commit. While it's natural for people to have a past, the key is how they talk about it and what they've learned from their experiences. If he speaks respectfully about his exes and reflects positively on past relationships, it shows maturity and growth. However, if his stories suggest a pattern of superficial relationships, it might be worth exploring his readiness for a serious commitment. Comfort with casual relationships is another potential sign. Men who have been with many women often feel at ease with casual dating and may prefer it over serious commitments. This comfort can manifest in various ways, such as openly discussing previous casual relationships or expressing a preference for keeping things light and non-committal. He might be very clear about his intentions, stating that he's not looking for anything serious. While there's nothing wrong with preferring casual relationships, it's important to understand his motivations. Some men might prefer casual dating because they enjoy the freedom and variety it offers, while others might avoid commitment due to fear of emotional vulnerability. It's crucial to have open and honest conversations about what both parties want from the relationship. If you're looking for something serious and he's not, it's better to know early on rather than hoping he'll change his mind. Be wary if he seems to avoid any discussion about the future or if he changes the subject when the conversation turns to relationship goals. This could indicate a reluctance to commit or a preference for keeping options open. While being comfortable with casual relationships isn't inherently negative, it's important to ensure that both partners are on the same page. Mutual understanding and respect for each other's expectations are key to a healthy relationship. Another sign to consider is the possession of many mementos from past relationships. Men who have been with many women might have a collection of keepsakes from their past partners, such as photos, gifts, or souvenirs. These mementos might hold sentimental value or simply be remnants of previous experiences. Some people like to keep these items as memories, while others may not even think about them until they're discovered. The presence of these mementos can sometimes indicate a lingering attachment to the past. It might suggest that he has had many significant relationships or that he values the memories of these experiences. It's important to consider how he talks about these mementos. Does he cherish them as fond memories, or does he seem to hold on to them with a sense of regret or unresolved feelings? This can provide insights into his emotional state and readiness for a new relationship. Be cautious if he seems overly attached to these mementos or if he frequently reminisces about past relationships. This could indicate difficulty in moving on or a tendency to live in the past. While keeping mementos isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's important to ensure that they don't interfere with the present relationship. Open communication about these keepsakes and what they mean can help clarify any potential concerns. Finally, a vague or ambiguous relationship status can be a sign that a man has been with a lot of women. Men with a lot of experience may avoid clearly defining their relationship status, either to keep their options open or due to a lack of commitment. This ambiguity can manifest in various ways, such as avoiding labels, being unclear about the exclusivity of the relationship, or being evasive about past relationships. They might also avoid introducing you to their friends or family, keeping the relationship at a surface level. Such behavior can sometimes stem from a desire to avoid commitment or from a history of keeping things casual. It might also indicate a pattern of short-term relationships where defining the relationship was never necessary. It's crucial to have open and honest conversations about the relationship and where it's heading. Ambiguity can be frustrating and confusing, especially if one person is looking for a serious commitment while the other prefers to keep things undefined. Be wary if he consistently avoids conversations about the future or if he seems reluctant to define the relationship. This could indicate a lack of seriousness or an unwillingness to commit. While some people naturally take longer to define a relationship, consistent ambiguity and evasiveness can be concerning. It's important to communicate openly about expectations and ensure that both partners are on the same page. And there you have it. 9 signs a man has been with a lot of women. Remember, these signs aren't definitive, and every person is unique. It's important to approach relationships with an open mind and heart, focusing on communication and mutual respect. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.